I'm getting up to the bathroom just for 2 minutes, and when I come back, the bracelet is not on my wrist anymore, and I was in shock. I can't believe I just lost $1,000 worth of gold bracelet, the first time that I wore it. First thing you need to know is you must weigh the bracelet. Otherwise, you wouldn't know exactly the weight unless it's posted on the store, on the online website, or wherever you're buying the bracelet from. So that's the first thing. Now, after you understand what is the weight, second thing that you need to check is what's the purity of the metal. So for example, for silver, it's almost 99% of silver jewelry are 925 silver, which is called silver sterling. That means that 92.5% out of this is the silver bracelet that I have right here, is pure silver. Now the other remaining percentages, they are contents of other metals. And also here, I don't know if you would be able to see it, but on the clasp, on this clasp right here, there is the 925 that symbolizes that this is silver sterling, and that, you know, that is the purity. So even when you see the stamp, you know, a lot of times these can be fake. You know, it's very easy to take a steel bracelet and just write 925 on it. So there are multiple tests that you can do in order to buy a bracelet and know that it's the real metal. Now, it's not very common to go in a store and just starting to scratch bracelets, because there is a scratch test, which is basically you're taking the bracelet, you're scratching a tiny part of the metal, just a small amount, onto a specific stone that is used to check that. And then you need to just put a little drop of acid on the scratch that you did, and if it disappears, it means that it's not the real metal. There's different acid for each metal, so this is one thing you can do. Now, when you are in store and you're looking to buy the bracelet, you're probably not going to do that, and they wouldn't let you do that. So what I think is important to look for, and I'm speaking mainly about silver. For example, this one is a bracelet that I bought in Thailand. Now, many stores that I went to in Thailand, they had many silver jewelry outside, just outside of the showcase, not locked anywhere, and it was large amounts of jewelry. Now, those jewelry stores, I'm pretty sure most silver was fake, because everywhere where I saw a serious store with real jewelry, it was always locked behind the counter unless it's a very small piece. So that is something to look out for, and you can't really test the silver any other way unless you have the machine to do it, maybe a XRF machine, because even the Sigma Metalytics, which is used to check coins and bars, it probably will be hard to test it. I think I was able to test this one when just using a small wand of the Sigma Metalytics and pointing it here, because this is some sort of a flat part. But if you're trying to test the link itself, it's probably not going to work. So that's what I think about buying silver. And the last step, after you know the weight, you know the purity, and you tested whatever you could, and it seems like you're buying it from a trusted source, that's the best advice, to buy from a trusted source that you know is wouldn't sell you any fake items. And then finally, when you realize the weight and the purity, then you know exactly what's the spot price. So for example, let's say this bracelet is spot price $200. There's $200 worth of pure silver in this bracelet. Now, some people can demand twice as the spot price for a certain jewelry piece, and some people can demand 10% over spot. There's no real pricing or rules to that. Now that's something I didn't know when I first got into jewelry, so it's very important that you know how much you're paying over the spot price. Let's say this piece, for example, it's a pretty generic piece, it's just a Cuban figure or bracelet. There's nothing special about it. There's no reason to pay too much over spot. Now, of course, you can't expect to pay spot for it as well, unless you're a big dealer and you're buying a large amount, because it's worth more than the spot price. There was work done to create this bracelet, so it's obvious that it's okay to sell it over spot price, but there's difference between 50% over spot, 200% over spot, and you need to be aware. Now, let's say I have another silver piece that I want to show you, which is a little more special. Okay, so we have this piece as well. Now this one, for example, has less of a generic design. You have these crowns right here and the skulls. I also bought this in Thailand, and I think this was worth paying a little bit over spot because I like the design. I like how it looks on the wrist, and no, it's not just a super generic piece that you can buy anywhere. Of course, there's probably hundreds, if not tens of thousands of these existing around the world, but I think the design is cool. I haven't seen this, so I was willing to pay a little bit more over spot. Now, these last bracelets that I have here, let me tell you the story about each one of them and what led me to buying it. So this is the first gold bracelet that I actually bought. So this is white gold. It looks exactly like silver. There's pretty much no way to tell if you're just looking at it. Anyone who sees me wear it will think I'm wearing silver or steel, but on the clasp right here you can see 585, which means 14 karat gold. So when you're checking the purity of the gold, for gold jewelry it's usually between 14 karat, sometimes 10 karat for different pieces, all the way up to 18 karat gold. That's most of the times. Where 18 karat gold is 75%. So this bracelet is the first bracelet I ever bought. I bought it pretty close to spot. I think it was like 20-25% over spot. Could have paid less, I'm sure of it, but that's just the first piece that I bought. It's not very heavy. I think it weighs like 10 grams, but when I bought it, gold was like half the price that it is right now. So the bracelet pretty much paid for itself. I can sell it for a profit now, even though I paid a premium, and that's very nice when buying gold jewelry. I wouldn't buy any jewelry that is not made of precious metals. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I like my jewelry to have resale value, and I think that's very important. And this yellow gold bracelet, that's a much heavier bracelet. I'm not sure exactly what's the weight of it, but it's very nice. Now, I bought this one from TraxNYC in New York. The only issue with this bracelet is the clasp. If I'm going to tell you the story of what happened to me with this bracelet, you're not going to believe it. I just wore it one time for the beach, and I was happy showing off the bracelet to anyone. Everyone thought it's really beautiful. I'm getting up to the bathroom just for 2 minutes, and when I come back, the bracelet is not on my wrist anymore, and I was in shock. I can't believe I just lost $1,000 worth of gold bracelet the first time that I wore it. And I've noticed that this clasp right over here is just not holding anything. It's just so easy to get it released, and just the smallest amount of pressure, it's just not locking in place. So I would check the lock, check that it's working well and that it's tight enough to get it, because this bracelet, I'm just scared to wear it right now, honestly. I almost lost it once. I don't want to lose it again. So yes, that's the story of this bracelet and why I don't wear it. But I am happy with the purchase. Again, when I purchased it, I think it was March 2025, and gold price was lower than it is right now. So yeah, I'm happy that I bought it. And this last one, this one was bought when silver was around like $25 an ounce, like a lot less than it is right now. You can also see the 925 stamp right here. Don't know if it's visible, but it's a very cheap bracelet, the most simple bracelet I have. It's from AliExpress and it costs me pennies. so I don't really wear it, but yeah, just a reminder of my first silver bracelet. So I hope you like the video. Let me know, what do you think about my bracelets? Do you like them? Did you learn from the video what to do when buying your next bracelet? And see you in the next one.